This right here is the perfect map for the Ultra Juggernaut. They said that it couldn't be done, and yet here it is. It got done, and someone made it. So I'm gonna have the code appear on screen if you guys want to check this map out. But we are gonna be playing this perfect map for the Ultra Juggernaut. Now this is not one of those loopy maps in which, you know, you can just kind of have the balloons just go around like a million times and you get a million chances to attack. This one actually, you know, they just come from the bottom and they go out on the side, with the caveat of course that all this is you know, it's separated. So there's this border made from these hedges on the sides, and obviously the Juggernaut balls are just going to go ham inside. And something that you guys might have noticed about this map right out of the get-go is that if you have your Dark Monkey like this, the range is just not gonna be there. And actually, before starting this, I tested it. I tested the range, and I realized that unless you go for the bottom crossbow on the Ultra Juggernaut, this thing is just not gonna have enough range regardless of what you do. So that's a little bit of a bummer that we have to go for the bottom path onto the Ultra Juggernaut, which means that we're gonna be losing a lot of attack speed, but that's gonna be completely fine because we will be getting an overclock. So now the problem with this early game is going to be that we need to start with these, you know, side towers first, and then work our way up to all of these upgrades, because by the time that we can get the Ultra Juggernaut to do even a little bit of damage on this map, we're going to need a lot of stuff like the Ultra Juggernaut, the village with the bottom crossbow on it, and then maybe even an alchemist. I feel like before the alchemist is going to be able to see the track, but we're just going to get it for good measure anyways. Okay, so let's see how we do versus round 15 and the pink balloons, because we cannot upgrade the ninja anywhere. Well, we can go only on the middle crossbow, which is probably not going to do too much, and we can go for the NG, and yeah, exactly, I think we're going to leak with these pink balloons. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we need to do something, but essentially I don't want to be buying any upgrades on the ninja because I want to go for the sabo, which is the middle crossbow. So it's either going to be a distraction or something else, and then we have to go for the middle crossbow on the NG because this thing is going to become an overclock. So let me just go with the pin like this, and I place the NG here towards the left side because maybe if we keep it on last, I'm going to need you to attack this one, the yellow as well. Yes, I was kind of close, but yeah, we got it done. And here's what I was thinking, maybe I have the NG on last so it attacks down this straight line, and maybe this is going to be super useful because we cannot upgrade these guys to the damage crossbows anymore. So no double gun here and no double shot or seeking shuriken. So we're just gonna have to go for the dart, I think. And yeah, definitely this is a sloppy round. I mean, there's nothing that we can do about this one unless we start buying some upgrades. So it's either we rely on the distraction a little bit or we get the alchemist. So I vote the alchemist, so let's buy it. Okay, so I'm gonna have the alchemist like this on the right side. I'm gonna set it to strong, and because it has a DPS effect, I want to have it on the right side for that specific reason, so the DPS is enough time to do its damage onto these balloons. And can we do something? Maybe I should be setting this guy to last so it affects more of these yellow balloons at the same time. Oh no, going first. Oh my god, again, one red balloon. Okay, what if we do this? I bought the alchemist, but I'm gonna have this guy on last so it sees the balloons a little bit earlier, and I'm just gonna keep it on last like this, and maybe this is gonna be a lot better. Oh my god, we don't even need the alchemist. Oh no. I mean, I guess we might need it for these upcoming rounds because we have some annoying rounds incoming, but this is, yeah, we definitely didn't need it. We just needed to upgrade the middle path on this thing and just set it on last. And a lot of balloons on this round, and then we're gonna have the lead balloons. The only lead popping power that we have currently is this alchemist, so this guy's gonna have to do a lot of work. And essentially the lead balloons are gonna get popped very late, and I think because these lead balloons are a little bit spaced out, maybe we go for the bottom crossbow, or is it gonna have enough AoE? Yeah, it's not gonna have enough AoE for all of them. Okay, let me try it like this. Let's get the larger potions to see if this affects two balloons at once, and I also notice that this engine needs to go on first, so let's see if this is gonna make any difference. We might even buy the distraction, maybe, you know, play around some RNG, but look at this thing, it actually does affect two of these balloons. Okay, that was really good. I mean, we're not defending because we're missing a little bit of DPS, but that was really good actually. Okay, so we can do this and this. Then if we go for a 1-1-0, we switch the NG on first. Now this should do a little bit more DPS with the stronger asset, so this should be better. Is it good enough to defeat this round? Like, I'm gonna need the DPS from the out to go to town, and it is. Yes, there we go, that's all we needed. Okay, so let's buy the distraction, let's play off of a little bit of RNG, and let's what are we doing with the ninja? Maybe do we want to have it set on strong or something like that, or do we just keep it on first? I feel like the ninjas are our main DPS, so we might want to keep it on first, and let's just spray to the RNG gods, I guess, because there's nothing else to do. And finally, it is a little bit off balance, but I'm gonna buy the Juggernaut. The Juggernaut doesn't get any extra range, by the way, so that's why the range stays exactly the same, but we are gonna be giving it a little extra range through the Berserker Brew, which we need to get this thing going as soon as possible. So let's get these alch buffs going, let's give it a little bit of extra range and attack speed, and let's just get the party started. Okay, so let's watch. We're gonna have round 36 in a second with a bunch of balloons. So I guess the thing with this one, with the bottom crossbow, is that it gets the extra range, it gets the extra, I guess, the camo detection. I think it's like a faster projectile, something like that, and it's nice, don't get me wrong, but the attack speed is the correct crossfire for this thing. So if you're going for the Ultra Jug, you definitely want to have the attack speed. I know that the placement is a little bit off center, but it has like this nice straight line down, and it seems to be working out. Like I don't mind this placement at all, but let's see how we do versus them. Oh my god, the bounces are starting. Okay, alright, the bounces are just getting started, I guess. Okay, so let's see how we do versus this mob. So we definitely don't have enough damage. I mean, look at this thing. The damage is barely going with the Juggernaut, so we're gonna need to do something, and I'm kind of glad that I didn't buy any other upgrades. So let's see how we're gonna do. Are we even gonna pop it is my question. Yeah, barely towards the end. Okay, so let me show you guys a trick, and if this trick works, then it's gonna make it into the video, and if not, I'm just gonna cut it. But here's the thing. We get the deconstruction, extra damage from wild class balloons, and we get the cleansing foam. Now, what the foam does is, if you have it combined with the pin upgrade, it slows the balloons for a very short amount of time. Now, I'm gonna do that, and I'm also gonna give the Ultra Juggernaut a little bit of extra range through the primary training. So the idea with this thing is that I'm looking to pop this mob a little bit earlier than before. Maybe can we do something with this? I don't think that we can do anything with Gerald. I mean, maybe we can drop some road spikes, but that's not going to do anything. And I hope that this pin slows down the balloons, and that was not even necessary, by the way. But the idea is that the pin is going to slow down the balloons just for a second, and this Ultra Jug goes down. But yeah, there we go. We get it done. So ceramic balloons, they are not even going to make it inside. This is just going to be, the bullets are just flying through these guys. It's like bullets, guys. Look at how fast this projectile is. Let me just play it on full speed. Look at these guys go. It's like a sniper attacking. I know that we're trying to see, and this is the perfect map for the Ultra Juggernaut, but so far, I think this placement just shooting down a straight line, it just means that none of these balloons have made it inside. So we're gonna need the Ultra Juggernaut and all those side bounces in which that they're gonna allow us to finally see how good this tower is. But look at the range. Look at this thing. It's reaching up. And then once we get it, the Geraldo count potion, I think that we're just fully, you know, capturing all of this inside, and that's where the party is gonna start. In round 49, this round should evaporate. I don't expect, if some of these ceramic balloons makes it inside, then it's just gonna make the job easier, because look at these bounces. These bounces are just going ham. This tower is going to down. It's not even aiming. Like, you can't even tell where the tower is aiming if you just look at the Juggernaut balls flying around. It's just balls everywhere. We're gonna have some Moab class balloons again, but we are a little bit better versus Moab class balloons in comparison to last time, because we have the extra range from the primary mentoring, and we have the new and improved alg buff. So it is, yeah, it popped at about the same time, but last time we did have the Geraldo nails, and now we don't. So, you know, we can definitely see that we're a little bit better versus Moab class balloons now, but we don't need to hold on much longer. It's just gonna be this Moab, so we pop this guy, and then on the next round we just probably have this thing, the Ultra Juggernaut. So let's just deal with this thing. Let's buy this thing, and here is where the fun is starting. I need these balls to just go to town. Oh my god, imagine. Oh, you know what? This thing is, I mean, it's probably gonna be amazing with the Ultra Juggernaut because it's a map made for it, right? But what if you buy the Dark Paragon instead of this thing? That's gonna be like, oh my god, these balls, dude, look at these balls go. Oh, this is not even gonna be close, especially with the later rounds. I can't even wait to see what this guy does to like 95 and 98. It's not even gonna care that those are like ceramic and 45 balloons or whatever it is, right? Okay, so we get the money for the overclock. I'm gonna buy it right now. Let's see how we do versus the BFB. It should be able to defeat it, no problem. I'm not exactly worried about it defeating the BFB, but I'm just more concerned the fact that we don't have a lot of attack speed because we went for the bomb crosspad. But what's happening with these balls? It's like they disperse, they explode, and they somehow go out of these hedge borders on the sides. You guys see that? I mean, they bounce a couple of times and then just got, yeah, just like that, they go off the map. What is happening? Is this what's happening with this map? Is that supposed to work like that? Is there like an explosion with it happening afterwards? 45 Moabs should not be an issue at all, and then we're gonna have round 63, which I don't think that we're gonna live to see any of these ceramic waves. Yeah, that was a ceramic wave. It's gone. It's the second it appears. You know what? These bounces, they also happen, you guys see this, in the inside before the balloons even reach, you know, this main circlish part. So they kind of bounce here inside and they do a lot of damage inside. So let's just watch. This is gonna be a third wave of ceramics, by the way, kind of show you guys what I mean. So as soon as this thing appears, I'm just gonna speed it up for a second. Yeah, there we go. It's gone. And you know why the wave is gone? Because the balls keep bouncing here inside, and they just delete everything thanks to the extra range. Are you guys excited about the Mermonkey, by the way? That's gonna be a new tower coming in update 44. Now I don't know when the update is coming out, but the tower is confirmed and it's happening. So we're gonna have a new tower in BT6 after I don't know how much time has passed since the Beast Handler, because the Beast Handler was the last one that we got. This is, by the way, round 75, which is supposed to be one of the most difficult rounds in the 70s. But yeah, this is just that was 3 BFBs, by the way, inside, and all the insides. Again, this tower, you know, sucks a little bit versus mob class balloons, but the ceramics are no issue. But yeah, the Mermonkey incoming update 44, and it should be an interesting one. So it's gonna be an amphibious tower. It's gonna be a full water-based tower. So in the class of the sub, the Buccaneer, and then I guess the top Pat Beast Handler, the fish, and maybe even Pat Fusty, because Pat Fusty can be placed both on land and water. But yeah, that's gonna be like tower number 3 exclusively placed in the water. So I don't exactly know what the tower is gonna do, but we're gonna do a deep dive onto that. I can't even wait for the next update to come out because I feel like we haven't had a new tower in such a long time. And after the Beast Handler is a little bit, complicated, I would say. And I think that while the Beast Handler is a good tower, a lot of people aren't using it just because of the merge system. So I think that the Mermonkey at least is going to be a normal tower, if anything. And this is gonna be around the 80s. So one of the problems that we are definitely gonna have in free play is just dealing with huge mob class balloons. And I'm talking about these more beefy ones, like the ZOMGs in particular. And the Battle Round 100 is gonna be questionable. So I'm not exactly sure if the Ultra Juggernaut is gonna be able to pump it by itself unless it's like super buffed and we get a bunch of debuffs onto the bat, because it seems to be struggling. So I'm not overclocking it. I know they have the overclock, but is it gonna defeat these guys? It might clutch it up. Oh no, it's not actually. Okay, let me overclock it now and let's see how much of a difference the overclock makes. Oh my god, it's not even close. Once you overclock it, it's not just the main DPS, right? But it's that you get so many balls out on screen that they just keep bouncing that you create so much more extra DPS. It's actually crazy. So I feel like the Ultra Boost is probably not the way to go, and I'm sorry to say that. I know the attack speed just works really well with this tower, especially because we went for the bottom crosspat, but I do think that going for the middle crosspat and going for something like this, the Call to Arms, is going to be the better choice. And I eventually want to upgrade this thing to a whole land defense, and we can buy a bunch of support towers. So I said that I was going to buy the Bloons Sabo, so I might as well do that right now, and then let's see how I do versus all these mobs. So it's not going to get overclocked, but I want to use the Call to Arms once. So let's just use the Call to Arms, and let's just have these guys evaporate. Come on, guys, this is so satisfying to watch, actually. All these balls bouncing around on the inside. Okay, so round 87, and we know from experience from round 80 that these guys we're gonna need to use something about these guys because they have a little bit more HP, and it's actually 4 of them. So yeah, let's go like this. Let's Call to Arms now. Let's combine it with the overclock. Let's see where we're at. We also have the Sabo going. So there's so many balls on the inside. These guys are just bouncing, but again, the mob damage is lacking because whatever tower it is, and you just do the same thing that we did. Like, let's say imagine we have a tag zone, and tag zone just gets the overclock and the Call to Arms. These guys would not exist right now, but because it's the Ultra Juggernaut and because it just sucks versus mob class balloons. And wait a minute, I need to use the Sabo. Oh, hold on, wait a minute, this is getting a little bit dicey at the end. Yeah, this is not gonna be a straightforward run, is it? Oh my god, are we even defending these guys? Alright, let's commence Operation Try and Save this run. So, this is just gonna get tougher than this, guys. We're not getting easier, it's only gonna get more difficult. So let's just go like this. Let's just use this thing, let's just use the Sabo, let's use the Call to Arms, and then I'm gonna use the overclock. So let's get the damage, let's get the slows out as soon as possible. We do have some regev potions from Geraldo, but I don't want to be using them. So let's just kind of watch out how the damage is going now. Okay, so popping them a little bit earlier than before, and I think that we do have this thanks to the glue. We used the Sabo a little bit earlier, which meant that everything just pops a little bit earlier, right? It's the same amount of damage, but because the big balloons pop a little bit earlier, we can kind of deal with the small ones a bit easier. Let's overclock, let's use the Call to Arms again, and yeah, this is definitely not gonna be a straightforward run. Oh no, as soon as these ZOMGs appear, we have a huge problem, it seems like. Okay, so DDT is incoming, and then there is one thing that I'm also noticing, and that is that we're not exactly covering the entirety of the track. You guys can see up here, so we can give this thing the Cal Potion from Geraldo. It's gonna give it a little bit extra range, and now it's covering the entirety of the track. Okay, so now we're playing, now we're online, and maybe, looking at this, that's a huge range, so maybe we would have been able to cover it with a 5-0 Ultra Jug after all. But let's see how we do for the DTs. Let me overclock. The DTs are gonna pop, but I'm just concerned about 95 because I don't like what I'm seeing, especially I don't like what I'm seeing in rounds with ZOMGs. Like, for example, rounds 94, 96, and 98 are gonna be an absolute nightmare, I think. And 94 is gonna be a true test for us. So as you guys can see, these balloons are already leaking, and this is not even the ZOMG. So let's just try and save this thing. So I'm gonna use the Sabo, and I'm gonna combine it with the Call to Arms. We just got the overclock coming off cooldown, so let's just combine everything together. The small balloons and the BFVs, they evaporate instantly. Like, it's not a problem dealing with those guys, and I noticed that it's not even a problem even if they're fortified in general. It's just that the ZOMGs have way too much HP, which means that the bat is also gonna be a tough beat. So let me go like this. Let me buy the Homeland onto this guy, and then I really hope we're gonna need at least money for one regev potion potion for the next round. I just want to have, you know, one as a reserve. And there we go. So that's gonna be probably, did I jinx it? No, it's, I think that, yeah, we definitely, yeah, we absolutely have this thing. Okay, that's really good. And it's really good that we saved these abilities, because we are gonna need them for round 95. So this is gonna be a true test, and it's round 95, the round that we talked about with the DD. So we do have the Sabo and the Homeland going. So without doing anything, this is not gonna defend, is it? No, we are, actually, I mean, I'm seeing some bounces, but yeah, this is not gonna work out. Okay, so let's combine everything that we have. We have the Homeland and the Sabo. The Overclock is still on cooldown, but I think it's gonna come off. So let's use the Sabo as soon as possible. Let's use the Homeland, and let's, yeah, we got the Overclock, so let's just get these balls going. And oh my god, this destruction is amazing. These balls are doing so much damage out. There we go. It's no problem, guys. You just have to buff it up a little bit, it seems like. As soon as this Homeland comes off cooldown, I'm gonna click it, and all these guys are gonna disappear. So it's gonna be right now, and look at these BFBs. They're all gone. Whatever it is, it's a BFB, it's a 45-1, it doesn't matter. They're all just gone. I'm gonna overclock, and I see these ZOMGs coming out, and actually, you know what? Some of the ZOMGs might have gotten popped just because there was so many balls, and some of them kind of made it below. But let's learn from our mistakes. So let's Sabo it right now. Let's not wait for these guys to make it halfway through a track and then use the Sabo afterwards. Let's Sabo right now, and then let's use the Homeland. And now with this Homeland, we should be able to evaporate all these guys, and that's around 96. Round 97 is gonna have two 45 ZOMGs, which are, you know, the bane of our existence, seems like. You know what? I think I should Homeland for these guys. Let me Homeland, and then we're gonna redraw for 98. We just need to get the damage going. Can I Homeland it? These guys are barely popping. Yeah, this is just way too annoying with these 45 Bloons, but let's overclock as well. And now, finally, round 98. So let's do this. Let's help this guy out as much as possible. Our abilities are on cooldown, so I'm gonna use a Rejuve potion to refresh these guys, and let's overclock. Let's have it up right from the start. And because this round comes out, you know, in its entirety, basically at once, I'm just gonna use the Homeland as soon as possible. I'm gonna pray that this thing is gonna be enough. So these ZMGs, they're gonna take a lot of damage, by the way, because everything is just getting dumped into them. And how are we doing? How's the damage looking? It is the Homeland. No, it's still ongoing, so it's gonna expire in a second. And I feel like, oh my god, all of them popped. I don't want to Rejuve again because it's gonna be 99, but I feel like we might be getting overwhelmed a little bit. Yeah, I don't like where this is going. We're probably gonna need a different plan for this round, right? I mean, it's kind of holding somehow, but that's way too many Bloons. Okay, so let's go like this. Let's wait out the first Sabo and Homeland cooldown, and then we're gonna use them, and then when they expire, we're gonna use the Rejuve. So last time we used both of the abilities instantly, and I think that might have been a mistake because I still want to save one Rejuve for the next round. So let's go like this, and then as soon as these guys, both of them run out, we're gonna have the overclock in a second, so we can overclock. And as soon as the Homeland runs out, by the way, these ZOMGs are not popping for some reason. They're starting to pop now, which is really good. And let me just watch the Homeland. Okay, so the Homeland is out, so we need to Rejuve as soon as possible. Let's Homeland again, and let's use the Sabo to slow these guys down. And now, yes, exactly, that's exactly what we needed to do. And by the way, they kind of made it inside, and that's what all these balls are bouncing around, but that's exactly what we need to do. So let's overclock. The Homeland is still ongoing, so these 45 DDTs are not even gonna, yes, that was perfect. That was very well played in rounds 98 to 99, but this round is still gonna be an issue. I mean, it just doesn't have the damage. So yeah, we do have a Rejuve, so I'm gonna wait the Homeland cooldown. I'm gonna use the Homeland cooldown, and even with this Homeland, I mean, let me just take a look at the damage that this thing is doing. It's just definitely not doing enough damage versus bad Bloons. I overclocked it. It's got the Homeland going, but it's just not, it's simply not enough damage, guys. Okay, so 2 Spike Storms. Let's get the Spike Storms out. Let me get the Rejuve potion so we get the cooldowns back as soon as possible. And let's go like this. Let's use the Homeland. Let's overclock. Oh, I used the Sabo by mistake, but that's fine. Let's use both of the Spike Storms, and these guys should eat up the bat in no time. And is it gonna, yeah, there we go. So the DDs popped, and again, ZOMGs are arch nemesis. I wish I had the Sabo. I wish I didn't click the Sabo, guys. This would have been really nice right here, but I think we still have it. Yeah, I think we're gonna have the Homeland in a second. So oh my god, that's ridiculously close. Okay, so maybe I shouldn't have used the Sabo, but we do get the Homeland cooldown back, so let's overclock as well. And I think that we're gonna, it's kind of gonna get close, but not really. And there we go, we get the victory. There it is. That was a perfect map for the Ultra Juggernaut. It is, I think the Dark Paragon is gonna go even crazier on this map, especially because it attacks just so fast and it's got so many balls going out on all sides. So you're gonna be able to reach a very high round with the Dark Paragon if you buy it like this, but we get it done. We get the Ultra Juggernaut done on Chimps mode, and that's gonna be it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'm gonna see you all in the next one.